Hey guys, what's going on? It's Savius again, back with another video from Heroic Blackrock Foundry. This time, this is Kromog, the big Magnaron boss or whatever guy, kind of just standing here for no reason. Anyway, it's not a heavily mechanical fight. It obviously has some mechanics, but not a lot that you really have to worry about. There are a few things you need to be aware of. One right here, you can see the runes. If you get caught in here, it's like a little trap. They'll activate, they'll smash you between like a little high five or whatever between the two hands, and you'll be stunned for about 5 seconds. You'll also take a fair amount of damage, and getting hit with that at the wrong time could be pretty fatal in this fight. Um, the other thing that he does, you're gonna see, which is pretty much a major mechanic, is the runes of grasping earth. He does this every couple minutes or so, where he will spawn a bunch of small hands on the ground. Everybody needs to get in one because he does this ability called thundering blows, and if you're not grabbed, you get knocked in the air. You'll see a couple people get knocked up and fall down, and that's because they're paladins or mages or hunters or something who have some sort of immunity ability that actually keeps them from taking any physical damage from the thundering blows, and also keeps them from dying from fall damage as well. Um, Basically, all you do with that is you get gripped, and then once the thundering blows is over, he needs to be deep. They need to be DPS down and everybody freed. You free the tanks first. And then you worry about everybody else. You want to get everybody out as quickly as possible, though, so that you can get back to the normal version of the fight. The reason you free the tanks first is because if there's no one in melee range, he'll just spam Stone Breath until someone is. Um, the other thing, which is the less mechanical stuff, well, there's one other mechanic. Whenever he does Rippling Smash and he does Slam, he'll leave these little reverberations behind. Again, you just handle those by simply dodging them. That's it. The bulk of this fight is just a brute force sort of healer fight. There's a lot of heavy damage. Heavy damage on the tanks, heavy damage on the raid throughout the course of the entire fight. And you kind of just battle to survive for the most part. And that's pretty much how it goes from beginning to end. You saw me at the start of the encounter pop an early trank, and the reason for that is just realistically, the main portion of the fight, when he does Stone Breath and Slam consistently, that is actually the highest damage portion. Slam does more damage the closer you are to the boss. I'm uncomfortably close, and the reason for that is so that I can be in range of the melee, which we sit over here to the left, as well as the tanks and all the ranged, just to be able to heal as many people as I can. I like to use a Tree of Life in this particular phase, which is not up right now because I used it before. But the reason for that is to deal with the Stone Breath that comes in this phase. Like right here, like in this situation, I didn't have anything for it. Actually, I have Trank for it, so I like to use a CD for that whenever I can. Like usually, that's what it is. If you use a CD for a Slam, you use a CD for a Stone Breath. It can't be considered a waste at all. Druids and Holy Priests, I think, are really strong in this fight, just because there's not a lot of stacking, so Shamans don't really shine as well as they could on a fight like Gruul. But this particular fight, Holy Priest and Resto Druids do really well, and you'll see that's who our top two healers are right now. But yeah, that's pretty much the course of the fight. When the boss hits 30%, he does like a small, not an enrage. He goes into a frenzy where he gains, I think, some attack speed, some increased damage, like 20%, and then he casts his abilities more frequently. So you definitely want to have some major healing CDs and some damage reduction for that portion of the fight. And you also want to save Bloodlust for that part of the fight. We wiped on this quite a bit. This is not that big. It gave our healers an issue, mainly because our healers are, most of us other than myself, and maybe a couple of others, are really reserved in the use of cooldowns, and their analysis of the overall encounters and when to use those cooldowns is not very, very good. So our lack of coordination and unwillingness to cooperate with each other or listen or set an order for CDs kind of bit us in the ass for a bit until the healers got used to the damage and I guess found a way that they wanted to deal with it. But I still feel like this would have been much, much easier, and we probably could have one-shot it if our healers were better as a unit. Individually, we have some pretty talented healers, but yeah, as a unit, we are very, very bad. I'm going to wait for the next rune of Grasping Earth, I think, the small hands, to get grabbed. When that happens, because you see I'm low on mana here, I'm probably going to channel a potion. It looks like actually I already have, so I'm running on fumes here in this final phase. Probably because I overdid it throughout the most of the fight, but that happens, and you just manage. When you're at the end, you just manage with however much mana you have left. You can see one of our shamans is actually has a really healthy mana pool, and right now he should be dumping so much mana into chain heals and healing rains and heal this whatever he can, because he has so much available. Foreshadow has more available here than I do, and just yeah, like they should be dumping that. It's the end of the fight. You don't want to end with a lot of mana left. I used my Trank again. I used my Heart of the Wild again. And I got really good use out of my CDs in this fight. But yeah, this is just a brute force, man. It's just a brute force healer fight. And that's pretty much what you do. You know, you avoid the reverberations. You avoid Rippling Smash. You DPS the... You make sure you get grabbed by a rune of Grasping Earth. Unless, of course, you have some way to avoid that through some sort of immunity, like a Hand of Protection, or an Ice Block, or I think Deterrence works, I'm not entirely sure, or even Dispersion, realistically, because it just reduces the overall damage that you take. And as a priest, you're not worried about getting knocked up, because, you know, you've got Levitate, so you can just float back to the ground. But I don't think we were running any Shadow Priests for this encounter anyway, so... Druids don't have to worry about the knockup, but the physical damage from Thundering Blows is still really high, so they should get grabbed. Because I don't think Bark Skin is enough to reduce the overall damage to the point where you can be safe in eating something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. My only real big gripe with this and how long it took us to down this encounter is with... the same gripe that I have with the healers overall, man. It's just a lack of coordination and a general lack of understanding and how to use healing cooldowns. I don't even look at them as I don't look at Trank as a healing cooldown personally. I look at it as a mana cooldown. They took Innervate away. They put so much power in the Healing Tide. They put so much power into Tranquility and Divine Hymn. I think Trank costs like 5, maybe 6k at the most, like 5.8k mana. And it heals an entire raid, and it heals for so much. It is so potent. You use stuff like that to keep you from having to dump mana into rejuves, wild growths, and whatever your abilities are as a healer. So you want to make sure that you utilize, and especially on a fight like this, you want to make sure that you utilize those mana CDs, those healer CDs, however you want to refer to them. Make use of those, because they are so crucial to success in this encounter. The Enrage timer is like 10 minutes long, so again, it's a fight for survival. It's not a DPS race. Just handle everything properly. As a healer, take care of your mana, heal your ass off, make sure that you get the use out of any CDs you have. Barrier, Spirit Link, Healing Tide, use them well. You will save yourself some mana. And yeah, if you do that and you do it well, you'll have no issues with this boss. I like bosses like this as a healer personally, especially as a Resto Druid, because it just lets me shine. It really lets me shine. I'm hoping that after watching this, I can do a lot better in the future on this encounter and get my numbers a bit higher. I know it's not all about the numbers. I know it's really just about the bosses dying and everything, but ultimately my numbers matter to me, and my output matters to me, and it should matter to other healers as well. So you want to be able to have your numbers up there. You want to be able to handle the encounters. You don't want to be overwhelmed when you finally face a boss that does a respectable amount of damage, because there are some fights that are gonna require that you be able to deal with that and that you be able to put those numbers out. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. That's gonna do it for me. Yeah, so thanks for watching. I hope it helps as always. If you're still working on this, if you've already got it down, hopefully it helps you improve your performance overall, and hopefully you found this informative in some way. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.